Hello everyone, welcome to episode 8 of Christiaan's Rhythm Workout. And in today's episode, we're going to take a look at how to play rhythm for the standard them, their eyes. Now when I say standard, I'm talking about a Gypsy jazz standard because in straight ahead jam sessions, this song is really not played. And if it is played, the chords are completely different. So I'm gonna teach you the chords that are being played in Gypsy Jazz jam sessions or being performed by Gypsy Jazz groups or versions that are recorded by Django Reinhardt. Now, if you've never seen an episode in this series, it's basically a show in which I teach you how to play rhythm for a certain song, the way I would play rhythm for it, and in this episode, it's Them Their Eyes. And then after that, there are several opportunities for you to practice what I've just showed you. Of course, you could just practice on your own at home. That's perfectly valid. Or you could practice with a backing track that I just uploaded. And it's a backing track with only a bass in 2. So it's playing on beat 1 and 3. And it sounds like this. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And of course, you have to play 4 chords per bar. So to stay in sync with that backing track is a very good exercise, and it's 12 choruses, so you can really do a workout. That's why this show is called Christiaan's Rhythm Workout. Now, to get access to the backing track, you'll have to join my Patreon at the $10 level. You can also join at the $5 level, and then you would get access to the chart that I made with all the chord diagrams for every chord. But of course, I'm also going to run through it starting right now. So let's take a look. So the first 4 bars are D6 for 2 bars, which I play like this. So that's 5, 5, 4, 4, 5, 5. And like I say in every episode of this series, I really am focusing on the lowest 4 strings. So on these 2 fingers, the second and the first finger, because I don't really want to hear those high strings when I play rhythm. So I'm not going to go into the mechanics of rhythm because I made 2 earlier videos explaining everything you need to know about the technical aspects, and I will link those videos in the description and also in the comments. So 2 bars of D6-9 and then 2 bars of D-flat-7, which is almost the same grip. The only difference is that now I'm playing 3 strings for my 3rd finger instead of 2 strings. But again, I'm only focusing on the lowest 4 strings. So it goes from this sound to, so you would get that's a good loop to practice actually. It's just I like these 2 chords, the way they sound, and I like to try out rhythm on a new guitar, for instance, with those 2 chords, just playing them in a loop. Like that. Now, then we're going to go to D6-9 again, so we're going to go back. And then there's several ways of playing the next 2 bars. My preferred way is to play E minor 7, A7. Right, so some people like to play C sharp half diminished. That's this grip, that's the middle strings 4, 5, 4, 5. Or you could say it's E minor 6. I would call it E minor 6. Some people would like to just play A7. It's all possible. I like E minor 7, A7. So then you would get bar 5. Let's see how it sounds with E minor 6 because I think that's the most popular version. It's okay, I like the movement of going from E minor 7 to A7. So let's play those 8 bars with the backing track. Now Now you might say, oh, that's pretty fast. It's 240 BPM, but actually for this song, that's not that fast. I'm used to play it at like 260 to 280. So 240 is pretty slow, but if you are a beginner with rhythm, then of course it's pretty fast. Now, to get around that, to not get tired, is you have to play very light. Don't play super loud chords or super loud rhythm, just play lightly. You will get less tired, and it's also better for the solo player because he doesn't have to force his solo lines. Let's continue to the next 4 bars. So now we get F sharp 7, which is the same chord grip as the D flat 7, right? But now it's on fret 8. And this is gonna go to B minor 7. Now, because this is a dominant chord resolves to a minor chord, I really don't want to hear that B string, this G sharp here, because it should actually be a flat 9, a G. But I don't like this chord grip for rhythm. It doesn't sound right to me, so that's why I again focus only on the lowest 4 strings. And then it doesn't matter if I flatten my finger here, because you won't hear that string. To B minor 7, E7, E minor 7, A7. Instead of playing E minor 7, A7, you can just play 2 bars of A7. So let's play these 8 bars and I will show you a little variation. So I'm gonna play from the beginning. What I like to do sometimes is play E7, so last 4 bars, and then play E minor 7, that's the same, and then I would play for 2 beats, so that would be E flat 7 sharp 9. So it's not in the chart, but the fret numbers are 6, 6, 5, 6, 7, 2 beats, A7 2 beats. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I do like to play that B string, to hear that voicing. You could also skip the E minor 7 and do a whole bar of that chord. So then you would get E7, and then E flat 7 sharp 9, A7. Let's do that one time to see how it sounds. I will do the whole bar E flat 7. It's a very cool sound, so you could change between these 2 options. Let's go to the next part. The first 4 bars of the second part are the same as the first 4 bars of the first part, so D, 6, 9, D flat 7. And now we get a 2, 5 to G, so A minor 7, D7, G6. Of course, you could also just play D7, D flat 7, that's D7. That's also a nice sound. Someone like Nusche would like to play. He would play B minor 7, B flat minor 7, A minor 7 to approach the A minor 7 chord. So you would get. So on beat 3 of the previous bar, you play. It's more kind of an embellishment, but I know that he likes to do that, especially in this song. So 2, 5, 1 to G. D7 again, because we're gonna go to the last 8 bars, which are Christoph changes, and that starts on G again. So it's nice to play a D7 in the middle of that G part, because otherwise you get 3 bars of G. Alright? Again G, so then you do. And then we get to the last 8 bars. So Christoph changes, which means the 4 chord, which is G. Then G sharp diminished. But usually I only play 3 strings. That's the difference between like D flat 7, where I have the D flat on my second finger, and now it's muted. Right, and I could play this D here on the B string, but I prefer to just play 3 notes. To D, B7, E7, A7, D. A7 to go back to the beginning. You could do E7 or you could do E minor 7 and just play a regular 2-5-1. So you get G, G sharp diminished, D, B7, E7, A7, D. Of course, again, for the last 4 bars, you could play E7, A7 or E minor 7, A7, but you could also play that thing I showed you, the E minor 7, then E flat 7, A7, or just play a whole bar E flat 7. So what I'm going to do now to end the video is I'm going to play 2 choruses, and the first chorus I'm going to play exactly what's in the chart, and the second chorus I'm going to make some variations, the ones I talked about, and I might shift the chords a little bit. So that means when I have, let's say, D7, I could do, but I would shift it back and forth. And if you want to know more about that, I talk about that in the second tutorial video about Gypsy Jazz Rhythm, which is linked in the description. Here we go. There you go, some really cool chords for Then the Rise, some ideas for variations, and I bet that if you practice this with the backing track, you will see in the end it's not that fast. I mean, it's still fast, but it's not like 280, which would be really, really fast, and I'll save that for later. If you're interested in the chart, you can join my Patreon at the $5 level, and of course you will get access to the previous episodes, the charts, and much more stuff. And the $10 level to have access to this backing track and all past backing tracks that are part of this series. If you like the video, please like it. If you want to stay updated on my videos, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!